On with today's show. What are we going to start with? We're going to start with, I made what do we call it? I call it a stealth appearance on Vince's show today. Vince Coglianese, who was talking about Donald Trump and a recent encounter with, oh no, this was another clip. This was Vince Coglianese talking about the Epstein latest developments. Todd Blanche has apparently met with, not apparently, he has confirmed, admittedly met with and questioned, interrogated, asked questions of Ghislaine Maxwell yesterday, and they've continued doing it today. And as Vince was talking about, I'm like, hey, I know that guy that you have in the reply of the tweet. But I'll play this so we can.
We did get an account from Todd Blanche overnight about this. He did say that the conversation is continuing. Today, I met with Ghislaine Maxwell. I will continue my interview of her tomorrow. The Department of Justice will share additional information about what we learned at the appropriate time.
I want to know what the proposed community note was to that particular statement. I'm sitting there scratching my head like, what could have been the proposed community note? What would require clarification here? Today, I met with Ghislaine Maxwell and will continue my interview with her tomorrow. The Department of Justice will share additional information about what we learned at the appropriate time. I have no idea what could have been the proposed community note, but I digress.
Hey, Todd, sooner's going to be better than later. Don't upend any prosecutions here. Obviously, you've got to retain any information necessary to go after people, but we'd love to hear more as soon as you can get it to us. But that's useful. And what is that, if not an expression of the seriousness of the Trump administration to get to the bottom of this?
I can appreciate some people are going to say who have come to the conclusion that this is all a cover-up are going to say, no, this is not transparency. This is a subterfuge. He's going to ask her questions. He's not asking her questions to prosecute. He's prepping her on what to say to protect Trump. I can appreciate people saying that. I don't agree. I agree with Vince. I love it when he says, hey, the sooner the better you can get some answers. I'm going to have to ask you to come on in on the weekend and give us some answers on the Epstein documents. All right. But I can appreciate how some people who are just either doom-pilled, TDS afflicted, think Trump is in the files, is a bad person to children type thing. They're going to say, yep, Todd Blanche is in there covering all bases, yada, yada, yada. Okay. I can understand the reasons why you think that. I also just think you're delusional. And repeat it again, if there were anything incriminating on Trump in those files, it would have been selectively leaked to a greater degree than a birthday card from 2003 with boobies and a alleged Donald Trump signature where the pubis hair is. I digress again.
They send this guy in there to talk to the living witness. No other Justice Department has even bothered to talk to her. What's that about? Why wouldn't they talk to her if she's at the center of this epic crime ring? Yeah, talk to her. Todd Blanche is doing it now. And hopefully we get some real answers. And that's the Trump administration trying to be transparent here. They've been trying to release grand jury testimony as well. They've been getting pushback from the judges involved in all of that. But no question that they're trying to get the information out.
Now let me pause this here. Did you know? Oh, you can't see it because my face is in it. Hold on 1 second. Well, I don't know if we're going to get to see the thing there. But anyways, that's my tweet on the bottom in top reply. That's why I said I made a jokingly, I made a stealth appearance in stealth cameo in Vince's show today. My comment was the meeting video recorded? The meeting had better have been video recorded or at the very least audio recorded. The only problem with audio recording is you don't get gesticulations, you don't get body language that people can then appreciate and interpret later on. But so help me goodness, it better have been at the very least audio recorded and ideally video recorded, potentially to disclose, publish, if not the entirety of the questions and answers, at the very least portions of them. They better keep her alive as well. Bottom line. But they've met with her, they've talked with her, and we'll see what information they're getting from her. How is ABC News reporting on this? No asks and no promises. Lawyer for Maxwell says after second meeting with Deputy Attorney General Maxwell's attorney, there have been no asks and no promises. Listen to this. The second meeting between Jeffrey Epstein, this is from today, and associate Ghislaine Maxwell. Someone told me, what is the appropriate pronunciation? We can have Ghislaine, 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 Shalane. We can't really have Shalane. All right, whatever. Ghislaine Maxwell and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche ended Friday after about 3 hours. Maxwell's attorneys, David Marcus, told ABC News afterwards there have been no asks and no promises. Marcus said Maxwell was asked about maybe 100 different people during her interview, asked about maybe 100 different people. With the Deputy Attorney General, he said she answered every question. We haven't asked for anything. This is not a situation where we are asking for anything in return for testimony or anything like that. Yada, yada. Of course, everybody knows Ms. Maxwell would welcome any relief. Blanche didn't speak to reporters. Fine. The judges that are blocking apparent release of documents. We'll get to that in a second. Remind me. Judges blocking. Who are they? Obama appointees. And a Maxwell pardon, which we'll get to. Sources told ABC News that Maxwell initiated Thursday's meeting, which lasted 6 hours. Maxwell is currently appealing her 20-year prison sentence for child sex trafficking and other offenses in connection with Epstein. Bulk of her arguments in appeal, from what I understand, is that she was covered under the non-prosecution agreement and then some other evidentiary issues. We don't want to get into the substance of the questions, Marcus said. There were a lot of questions, and we went all day. She answered every one of them. She's never said, I'm not going to answer, never declined. It is almost unheard of for a convicted sex trafficker to meet with such high-ranking Justice Department official, especially one who used to be the president's top criminal defense attorney. ABC News, yada, yada. Okay, I think we can scrap the rest of this. After President Trump's comments on Friday about clemency, ABC News asked Maxwell's attorney whether that gave her an incentive to tell Blanche what he wanted to hear. The comment about clemency is one where I got into yet another fight with, well, it didn't really count as a fight because he didn't reply to me. I just took some SHIT from the Autobot jackasses in replies. Aaron Rupar, go look him up, by the way. Look him up in the Urban Dictionary. Very special man to have acquired the reputation and name that he's acquired, which is a lying sack of SHIT who will lie to your faces in promotion of political agendas, even when he verbatim quotes and posts the video. I believe there's still material misrepresentation. Factually correct, materially misleading. Let's hear, hold on one second. We got to go there first. Aaron Rupar posts on X, Trump on pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell. Quote, I'm allowed to do it, end quote. Now, one of my kids is into theater, and there's a fun exercise where you can emphasize any different word in a sentence, and it gives it a totally different meaning. I'm allowed to do it. 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 That doesn't really work quite that well without him. I'm allowed to do it versus I'm allowed to do it versus I'm allowed to do it are very different interpretations of the same statement. How do you think Trump said it here? I'm allowed to do it.
Would you consider a pardon or a commutation for Ghislaine Maxwell if
it's something I haven't thought about. It's really something
recommended.
It's something I'm allowed to do it, but it's something I have not thought about.
But you wouldn't rule it out, sir?
It's something I'm allowed to do it. Oh, sir. I'm allowed to break windows. I'm allowed to throw eggs at people's cars. Not really that so much, but I'm allowed to do it. I think Aaron Rupar is a liar. Confirmed even in this. If I were going to, I would have put it in asterisks to emphasize the fact that there was an emphasis on a word that sort of issued a presumptive wrongness of pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell. I say it's presumptively wrong the way he said it. Let me give everyone the link to that. And I got to show you I got to be out of incognito to show you this. I got to show you this shit that I get into with the people in the replies. Holy crab apples, they are crazy. Oh, where did it go? Let me show you what the replies are that I have to deal with. I say, even in directly quoting the president, you think you're doing it objectively and neutrally. You are actually doing it in a misleading manner that seems to suggest, for those who don't watch the video, that he says, I'm allowed to do it when asked whether or not he should. I'm allowed to do it means that there's something presumptively wrong about doing it. Watch this. It's so fun to go. And some people say, Viva, why do you do it? I'm a glutton for punishment. Wow, even when quoting verbatim, you still misrepresented by failing to emphasize what Trump emphasized. I'm allowed to do it. The emphasis there was specifically to highlight what would be presumptively wrong about doing it, in my humble opinion. LOL, you pedophile freaks are really scraping the bottom of the barrel now. Let me see what else we got here. Yet he didn't dismiss the idea. To be crystal clear, let's cut straight to the point. Are you saying that because he can do it, it's not wrong for him to do? Like, this is where you realize you're either talking with bots or people who are unintelligent and don't understand basic English. Now, I say it would be presumptively wrong to do it. Does not mean there might be a set of circumstances in which I can envision doing it and possibly even offer an argument for why, although presumptively wrong, it's net benefit to do it. We're not yet there. We'll see. Presumptively wrong, yet practically beneficial would be, all right, she served some time. She's had her life upended. If she now rats out, provides evidence of unindicted co-conspirators that would allow for prosecution and conviction of the people to whom she was sex trafficking, unless it was only to Jeffrey Epstein, in which case she's got nothing to offer and nothing to pardon for, because she's got nothing to offer to counter for a pardon. The only reason it could be presumptively wrong and yet somehow justifiable is if it would lead to arrests and dismantling what some people believe to be a global pedophile sex trafficking ring, or at the very least, a ring of criminality that involved other unindicted co-conspirators, both known and unknown, who were offered non-prosecution agreements or swept up in the Alex Acosta 2008 sweetheart plea deal, which didn't only cover Epstein, but unindicted co-conspirators, both known and unknown. But that's all we have with Donald John Trump on the Maxwell situation.